Hi, my name's Alicia, and my Tumblr is askew@tumblr.com, and I'd like to audition for the role of aranea serket at your panel for Otafest. And yeah, I'm gonna do the scene where aranea talks to Jake. Jake attempt to grab the edgeways, to gab the edgeways, and yeah, I'm gonna have my brother feed me the lines of Jake, so it has that kind of back and forth conversational feel. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking with the phone, okay? Well, Jake, don't you have anything to say? I think I've spent enough time introducing myself. You have hardly said a word. It would be nice to know whether my long story has confounded you in any particular way, or if you are just being shy. Yes? Jake, I understand this is very much to learn all at once, but do you really want me to keep speaking until I am blue in the face? You appear to be perspiring heavily. There is no reason to be so nervous, especially considering you're only dreaming. It's okay. Well, at the risk of talking about myself a little more, I would feel it'd be dishonest not to confess. I am a fairly gifted psychic. Yes. No, that was a fine question. They're troll powers. Sometimes those of my blood type will have them naturally. And no, they're not prognosticative abilities. They let me access another's mind in a way that can be terribly invasive if abused. Yes, including the ability to control minds when exploited fully. But don't worry, they don't seem to work the same way on your species. They're considerably weaker. The most I can do is get an emphatic impression of your emotional state. So if I can speculate that you are shy or nervous, it is because I can sense that you are. I wouldn't say you blew it, but that was certainly odd. Who were you talking to, if you don't mind me asking? I am not a brain invader, though. I said I can only sense your emotions. I think it's polite to let people know before long. Otherwise, I begin to feel a bit underhanded. But you don't have to. That was not the point of me telling you. I'm used to sensing many things from people. There aren't any feelings you could have that would be that surprising to me or compromising to you. I really just want you to relax for the brief time we have in this bubble and talk to me. Well, I have spent almost no time examining this iteration of your universe. The gods have given me very little access to it through the memories of others until now. I believe they are finally beginning to bridge the divides between long estranged compartments of reality, allowing previously unintroduced parties to mingle. Those from different universes, both their initial iteration and their scratch reboots, those from different spheres, one of creative potential and of mortality. Through us all, they attempt to bring closure to unsanctioned loops and restore stability to the cosmos. So I am curious about you and your friends. What is your life like? I understand. The same is mostly true for myself. I can sense that you're either very impressed or in some way intimidated by me. But when it comes down to the basics, a description of my life would be boring as well. Why don't you show me around? Let's not get carried away. That certainly does not describe my experience. I would think being able to sense the occasional attraction from others would be advantageous and inspire confidence in yourself. And it is nice when that happens, sure. But then you feel the negative emotions directed at you as well. And if they are less common than the positive ones, you have a way of dwelling on them and magnifying them far beyond their significance. It's funny how an ability that should give you all those advantages in the world over others can lead you to feel worse about yourself than if you never had them. You put all your energy into thinking about people with the bad feelings about you instead of the good, and you try your best to fix them. But usually it just gets worse. Some people think you're overbearing and needy. They don't understand it is what it is you want from them. I can see why it can drive some with my abilities to abuse the powers. Some with my abilities to abuse the powers. Fortunately, I was able to resist the temptation. On the world I was from, it was rare. Only a few criminals and outcasts would. But in the second iteration I mentioned, it was commonplace. Like I said, they're very different. In my world, though, the higher castes have a lot of responsibilities. It wouldn't be right to abuse my powers. Ah, so you were listening to my lengthy preamble. Yes, blue bloods like myself were higher than most. The job of each blood caste was to serve the needs of all those below it. We were to use our progressively great longevity and wisdom to help the lower castes learn and grow, to listen to them and try to provide whatever they were missing. Like a hierarchy of caretakers with an increasing social responsibility, when the other order functioned in harmony, our civilization would flourish. Yes. Yes. Who told you that? That's interesting. I wasn't planning on mentioning that, or at least not just yet. There's no reason to prematurely overcomplicate an already complicated tale. All facts will fall into their place in due time. More or less. Jake, it wouldn't work between us. I'm dead. Perhaps if you died too, although maybe not after too long. I don't know how I'd feel about that if you were a lot older than me. Although technically I'm already so much older than you, it would just be kind of strange if you were physically my senior by any significant margin, you know? What? But I wouldn't want that to happen. For you to die soon. I want you to succeed at your quest and to live a long and happy life. Her? Who? Me? I've gathered a small group of travelers for a meeting. They are briefly passing through this bubble. I was hoping we could introduce ourselves to one another and help orient an old friend of mine to the afterlife. She was supposed to be the empress of all trolls, actually. Not exactly, since she probably never would have been, regardless. Just didn't want the job. Remember how I said each class had a duty to take care of the younger and more populous classes lower on the order? Well, hers was the highest of all. She was the only one on the planet with such royal blood, aside from the sitting empress. As the heiress, she was meant for a position of incredible responsibility. Once she claimed the throne, she would have to serve for many thousands of years until the next successor was ready. She had some problems with authority. She despised the whole social order. Really, I foolishly tried to convince her to honor her obligations, but she wouldn't listen. She viewed the Empress as a glorified slave, so she abdicated and fled to the moon to hide. I was the only one who knew of her plans. The rest of the world searched, but never found her. At the time, I was furious with her, but I didn't turn her in, which, in retrospect, was a key decision that led us here. Yes, eventually. While she was there, she discovered an ancient device inside the device was a game. She became obsessed with playing it, but needed our friends to agree to play it first. She was not well liked by others, though. Old grudges and rivalries made it hard to convince them. But she is very devious and knows how to trick people into doing things she wants. She even got me to agree by promising she'd return to her place as the heiress when we finished playing. Needless to say, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Yes, she's not all that bad though. Well, when you really get to know her, and when she's unarmed, which is pretty much never, now that I think about it. Okay, she probably is all that bad. The point is, you have to know how to handle her. Regale types can be very touchy, even the ones who seem to reveal in anarchy. But you know all the right things to say and do. She'll happily hand over the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. After all, royalty is royalty. Just let me do the talking for a while, okay? Wasn't it? Okay, I'm gonna close this real quick. I'll be back. So, yes, that was Jake and Aranea. And yes, right now, I just got this wig today, and I'm gonna style it soon. And I'm in the process of making my horns and dress. However, if you do require an updated status on it, I just send me a quick word, I don't know, and I can update it. I don't know. It won't take me long, so yeah. Thank you.